Okay. By end of this session, everybody should be in a confident position to develop the project on his own, track the project on his own, and the guide to the people on his own. So that is was the basic our objective of this training. And similarly, I think we try to. I mean, I try to give a certain background in the first session. I think most of people had given me feedback, and I think it's quite a good one. And now we'll be going to the second session. We earlier we have covered on a bird's eye view most of the options, and still we'll be going to those options because they are the basics of setting up a Microsoft project. But this time we'll be going more in detail so that everybody can make use of it. And after that, I would already suggest that people should go for the 12-hour session because my next slide shows what. Are you able to see my next slide?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
What it says?
Let's knock down the lockdown.
Yes, that's the theme of ISA right now. Let's knock down the lockdown. So let us make the best use of this time because we are on lockdown. So what we can do is we can upgrade ourselves. So currently we have come up with the two softwares. One is Microsoft Project, which I've been already going through the last session and this session, and I'll ensure that you people really get to know the nitty-gritties of it. And since it's a Microsoft project, they are always easy to use. Always there's a lot of support. You'll be getting it, and there's a definitely once you master this, definitely the profile of everybody gets enhanced. And second one is known as Advanced Excel for Business Analysts. See, Excel nowadays is not a minor thing. It covers a lot of things. You can do formulas, you can do analyze your data, and can have integration with Microsoft project and a business and Advanced Excel. This is something like which you will be covering it. One of those. Again, I think Anita, we should can have a maybe initial session maybe on a day after tomorrow on the Advanced Excel, which we have again a 1 hour session. So let everybody knows the feature of it because that's almost integrated with the Microsoft project. So this way, the theme or our purpose is let's everybody makes use of these two softwares, and once you master this, so what happens is your life will change. The reason is the way you are working it, the way you're thinking it, because it's going to change your work scenarios. So the nowadays the theme is we do not have to work hard. What we have to do is we have to work smart. I think that's the whole theme of our this programs. Now coming back to the again the session state, again it comes to the training section like introduction, project creation, developing schedule, resource management, tracking progress, managing budget, analyzing workload. Today, I think analyzing on the workload, I'll be adding a couple of more sheets on it because when we say resources, we don't only mean the human resources, even the resources other than the non-human like materials, workload, office expenses, they also has to be taken into consideration in the project. That I think will be coming today. And then nonetheless, the reporting dashboard with new features will be covering it, will be taken into. And last time, I think I just got a one feedback that the work breakdown structure which I used last time, it was more of a software development, but they wanted to be more on the exhibition setup. So I've tried it to come up with those events of exhibitions. Just please correct me or tell me maybe in our normal sessions, maybe we can have more in detail because in the normal sessions of 12-hour session, we'll be providing study guides. We'll be every day, we'll be having exercises. So you people, I mean, whatever we have done it, so we can be, there will be more of an interaction of those ones, and these tools are very easy and freely available. Nothing like at least their 30 days trial versions are always there for my advanced Excel as well as for Microsoft project. I will guide you how you can download it and get to know this beautiful and intelligent softwares. Now I'll come to second screen. It says, okay, this is my introduction. I'll skip this one. Okay, the Microsoft project definition, I think we already covered last time, but I think we still will go through the definition that it is a software which is very like the it's world's most popular software. Once you have this thing, you can accomplish lot many things. Then again, it's a collaborate on projects. Now, the first thing when I say collaborate on projects, what happens is once you have done the project and you have set up in the intranet of your organization, what's going to happen? Everybody can look into the project. Like Suppose the team C has to work on maybe 3 days later, and he knows that how the first two teams are performing it. He can plan it his activities accordingly. So what actually is going to happen? He can know when exactly is going to the previous task will getting over, so that if it's getting delayed, then he instead of coming on that day and finding it the things are not done. So his best thing is he'll try to finish the earlier project and then come back to this one. Similarly, the communication of the entire thing gets increased, budget definitely gets monitored properly, and other things are becoming it very soon. Then there are the other essential features like project planning, tracking, scheduling, all remain the same. But what get differs is the defining of the projects. What we have taken in this one is the project goals. Now, in this one, what happens is the project goals are nothing then, remember that they're normal, there's certain the 5 W's which are there, which says like who, what, when, where, how, why, and for whom. These are the basics of setting up your task. So if we take it like, for example, like I've taken up the WBS, we will be considering more into today's discussion. The reason is WBS, if I compare, is nothing other than the work to do list. Any project you do, you definitely make a list of activities. Similarly, it's over here also. And today, I think in this WBS, which will be creating it, I think I tried to get to the work structure of more of event planning. Like for example, first is event requirement information gathering, which will be our first task. Then event objectives. Like for example, are you organizing a seminar, or are you organizing an exhibition, or maybe any kind of event? So second will be you are having a event objectives will be settled down. Second is the location where you're going to have it. Then what are the amenities which you need? It you need a sound, stage, audiovisuals, internet, food and beverage service, meeting space, entertainment, hotel guest services, size, preliminary guest list. So these are the activities which you are going to have in this particular WBS. Hello, any query? Okay, I'm coming to second screen now. Okay. Now, second, if you see, is that once we decide on the event, it comes to the venue selection. Now, where exactly we're going to have venue, and we have to finance venue because we have to have a venue which is meeting our budget. So definitely we can't have more than our expenses. So we'll be looking for a venue, selecting it as per our budget, then coming in event attendance, list of participants who is going to participate in it. Then what are the print ads? How we going to give the advertising materials? What are going to be the marketing materials like brochures and all? Then invitations, how we are going to give it? Whether we design, printing, distribution, those all will be having it. Then comes it like design events. How you're going to design your booths, stalls, set up booths, registration booths. So those will be the workout structure of event management kind of activities. Then comes event planning, it staffing who will be actually taking the running the events. Then guest speaker who will be there. You have to identify at how much he charges, and all those things has to be taken into consideration. Then comes the entertainment, like for example, like for the any event show, what kind of cultural activities you are taking that will be taken into consideration. Then rooms and venues schedule will be taken into this one. Then comes planning of technology, what kind of technology will be, what kind of science, sound and light shows will be taken into consideration, and the testing of those equipments. Then definitely there will be some refreshment meal, what kind of beverages you're going to give it, breakfast, lunch, and those kind of things. So what happens is this way, what happens is we define our breakdown structure in the planning. I try to make it this way to just to get the feel of it. Then Microsoft project is nothing other than your work to do list. But the only thing is it has got a lot more than that. What is more than that is once you have designed this, then you have to decide what you are going to start it, who's going to work on it, and when exactly they have to finish the task, who's going to do the task earlier, who's going to do the task after this. This is all the beauty of Microsoft Project. And the best thing in the last session, I've already covered it, it's got a cascading effect. Like, for example, if somebody's work is getting delayed by half a day or one day, the entire project's dates get changed. So what happens is, otherwise, if we are not maintaining in Microsoft Project, we actually have to go and tell everybody that the task is going to be delayed and their work will get impacted. So best thing is they should advise or plan the activities accordingly. But in this Microsoft project, since it is already there and it's, everybody knows about it, so they automatically can shift the work structure. So that is the one of the best part of Microsoft project. Now coming to the again the same thing, that project information. Last thing I tried to give a bit of examples on it, but we didn't cover most of it because they lost more than this. There were global features and their start date features and those kind of things. So what I'll do, I'll start with the one of the activities which I had done earlier, because in this session, what's happening is a one-way activities. But in normal sessions, what happens is it should be both ways. Both ways in the sense like whatever we are doing it, you should other side people should be actually creating those projects. They should be actually developing those projects, entering this one should enter it, because by listening, okay, you can get an idea, but unless until you practice on it, it's of not much of use. So I'll come to this one and take it to the stage and try to start with the Microsoft project now. So here I'm starting with the one of the base project. Okay, and another thing before I go further, Microsoft project comes into the different versions. One is your desktop version, and then it is currently available on a online also. You can save your data on cloud. You don't need that. In that way, what happens is everybody can access. But if you're desktop version, then you should have a internet within the organization where everybody can see. But this one, it is in a computer version, and in our normal sessions, we can have a learning 30-day trial version for everybody, where we can get to know and we can start working on this project. Now here it is again Microsoft project, which I think did it, because last time I showed how we can enter and take it into this, to make it into the session of a work breakdown session structure. But in this one I've already done, and I have taken the activities of a event management, like say for example, like identifying event goals, which is normally happens when we try to start with it. Then comes to project budgeting, identify your marketing plan, then coming to plan project goals, define venue requirement, plan the entire event, and nothing not leaving the risk planning, which is always there. The risk planning, I think currently what's happened is a kind of what risk I think we all are going through. But once your plans happen, like say for example, if activity gets delayed for certain things, so those activity or eventuality also we have to take into consideration. Then comes the execution, which like venue selection, booth and display centers selection, show or promotional materials, staff selection, identify keynotes, installation of the event, setup of entire show, testing of the equipment of the event, show day. On actual day, who will be running the actual the shows, executing and monitoring of the event, arrange any shortfalls. And after the post show, what happens is whenever we are having any activity, there's always some purpose behind it. It's normally a generating a lead. So what happens is, say for example, after when we have to collect all over the materials of those exhibitions and pack them and take it from the venue and bring it back to our offices, then comes lead qualification and distribution to sales staff. I think this is the main purpose of conducting any exhibitions or even a seminar, because basically it's to promote our products, promote our items. So whatever the lead we have taken it, so we have to qualify it, we start following it and convert those lead into a business. Then sending an email to all the show visitors for thank you and for their participation, and for definitely for the future if they would like to attend our another features, which definitely we want them to be parts of it. And then come project closing. Now project closing is the day the project activity ends does not mean that the project get closed. Look, it means during the project, wow, what are the problems which we faced? What are the activities we should have done better? They all are recorded under project lessons learned. Are you able to see this one? Where my cursor is right now? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, but the slide is showing planning for success with Microsoft project. The slide hasn't moved forward.
No, no.
Is
The
only
slide is no. It's not a slide. It's a Microsoft project itself.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
no. So, are you able to see that Microsoft project, or you're able to see the PowerPoint presentation only?
Yeah. We are able to see.
We are seeing the PowerPoint presentation, sir.
Oh, you are not come to the Microsoft project. Oh, why not? I mean, I have shared it already. 1 minute. Let me see why not.
so we can just see the first slide of this PowerPoint.
This deck, the first slide of the deck, we can see.
Are you able to see this one? Like where my cursor is moving?
No, sir. No.
No, we cannot see that, sir.
We cannot see, sir.
Not visible.
I mean, you are able to only see this one.
I believe you need to share your screen again. Reshare your screen.
Sorry?
I believe you need to reshare your screen.
No problem. I'll do that again. New share.
Hello.
Are you able to see this now?
Yeah,
we can see in
now.
Excel.
Excel sheet.
Yes, it is visible now.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not an Excel sheet. Actually, it's a Microsoft project.
Okay.
You see my cursor moving?
Yes.
We
Great,
can see
great.
that now. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think then I missed out because what I'll do, I'll collapse all the projects and enhance. Now, for example, I started with this planning for an event. The first what I showed was in the PowerPoint, the task, what to do task list. Then in reality, what happens is we organize the tasks in a more of a meaningful way, and then we make it into a project task. So what we did here is, because normally Microsoft projects are divided into 5 parts, starting with your initiation. Second comes planning, third comes execution, fourth comes monitoring, and the fifth comes closing. So I think for the benefit of everybody, I'll show this once again. In identification, we should see that identify event goals. Whether we are conducting seminar or exhibition, definitely we have a goal because we want to increase our profit margin, or we want to increase our sales. So these kind of things we comes under here, like what are the events, whether it's a jewelry or whether it's a carpet or whatever it is, then what are kind of, how much budget do we have, and how kind of marketing we are going to do this one. So this will be coming under initiation. Then we'll take to the planning. And then the planning, what happens is we have a plan goals, whether we have to do it locally for one city, or we want to invite people from outside the city, then we have to send a mailer to them, or whether we're to city from outside the country. So accordingly, we have to plan the goals of that particular district. So accordingly, we have to define the venue also. Let's say if the exhibition is only for 4-5 companies, one hotel should be good enough. But if it's for larger masses, then we should have a bigger area for this way. Then plan the entire events. Then there is planning. Then we'll come to the execution of it. Then comes venue selection, booth and center selection, show promotion, staff selection, identify keynotes. So similarly, what happens is there are a lot of activities which we plan it, or the running the show. Now what happens is, now when we move to the Microsoft project, the beauty of project management is that each activities or each project which we do, at the end of the day, what happens, we analyze it, that how could we have done it better, what are the mistakes we did, where we overexpended. So what happens, those kind of things we record it under the project lessons learned, and next year or the next time when we are going to run those kind of project, we can get those records and learn it from them and read it, and this time when we do it, will be doing in a much better and a better way, so that it will safeguard us. Otherwise what happens, see, over and over year, what happens if people will be making same kind of mistakes, and then there's of no use, because each time when we do, we should be smarter and wiser. These kind of this is a part of a project management, because in the novel session of a 12-hour session, I'll be including a lot of project management concepts also, like how we decided what is the difference between a project and an operations, what are the activities taken, and when we define task, what should be the base of accepting a task? It should be 8 hours or 1 week, depending on the nature of the project. We cut down the break down the work structure in a such a way that it becomes more manageable for us. So similarly, what happened under the project lessons learned, we'll be putting it. See, they are given a 3 days, because here everybody will be giving his feedback on it. That what are the problem which we face? Then suppose sometimes we used one particular type of courier and they delayed it, which had got an impact on the entire project. So what happens is next time will be much better. We can, so depending on the same courier, we'll try to have a different courier on it. And similarly, budget amended to reflect final costs, because the best thing is always when you conclude a project, so whatever material which we have taken from whosoever we taken, we have to pay them back. I mean, we have to send them back, pay their dues, and then only our project is closed. So these are the things. What happens is a part of a project. I mean, Microsoft project, rather than the project. And Microsoft project, it normally works on the principles of a project management, which is more of a, currently I think there are two institutes which are leading one. One is a PMP, Project Management Institute, and second is a Prince2. And Prince2, I mean, if anybody wants to do that, we can definitely help out, because I'm also myself Prince2 certified. So what happens is in the normal sessions, we'll be taking more in detail, but what we are covering is just to get the feel of it, what all possible, and what are maximum we can get benefit of this one. So now I'll be go back to the my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, I think here we had covered till no, we covered this one. Okay, define the project. So I think here this is the screen where we actually was going to be setting up the project parameters. Now, for example, the project which I set up, I'll be putting it as start date and finish date. I think I did mention it because the certain project, normally when we do a project, the start date is more important for us. But there are certain project, instead of the start date, the finish date is more important for us, because, for example, if any exhibition is going to take place on a certain time, so all our activities we have to do a reverse engineering, so that on the last day of the week, last day of the event, sorry, the start of the event, before the start of it, all our activities should be completed. So in that way, what happens is when we set up a project plan, we'll be specifying those activities. Now, what I'll do, I'll go to the my project plan which I've set it for event management, and we'll start this thing again. Okay, so here you see what happens is we'll come back to this one and we'll try to set up program. Just to in this particular one, what happens is this is the same one which I showed you about this one, project closing, right? In this one, after setting up in the task, all the task list, what I have to done is we have to enter the durations. Now, once we enter the duration for these two activities, like for example, identify goals, project budgeting, and identify marketing plan, the total of this will get totaled up into the this summary task. Now, for example, you see over here, what exactly you will see, a 3 or 2? Hello?
Yes.
You see over 3 days or 2 days?
3 days.
3 days.
3
Now,
days.
for example, over here, if I increase the activity by 4 days and see what happens, automatically the activity goes to day number 4, because I increase over here, and the final duration also gets changed. Similarly, in the planning project also, if I change it to instead of this 3 days, if I change it to, let's say, 6 days, and I've changed it by how many? 3 days. So see what happens, the total over here, it will also get, sorry, I changed by 2 days, so it has changed by 2 days.
7 days.
7 days. And similarly, the duration over here, it has also got changed. So this is the beauty of this one. Now to safeguard this thing, I have to enter a start date and the finish date of the task. So instead of losing time over here, so what I'll do, I will close this project because I've already saved the project where which I've entered the start dates and what do you say, the end dates. I'll call up that project, which is going to be a 01 thing. It is the same activities, but only thing is it has got a start date and it's got an end date and it's got a predecessor also. Now, hello, yeah, somebody wants to ask something? Okay, no problem. See, what happens is, if I explain the entire sheet, I think last time I explained this, what is covered under file, task, resources, report. Maybe even in this class also, I'll go through all this one, because this one today, I think, will on resources will be working quite a lot on this one, because I'll be covering human resources as well as materials and for the cost. Because normally when we have cost, we have two types of cost. One is fixed cost, one is a variable cost. I think that also will be covering today. Then we have help, and then there's a format. Format feature is basically to, you see on the left side where my Gantt chart is showing up. If you want to change these colors, we can specify this one as per our requirement. I'll be touching this very soon. But before that, I will start this thing activities, which is shows as start date and finish date. Now the best point is, now for example, any of our activities get changed. Now for example, identify goal, instead of taking 2 days, it takes around 8 days or 9 days for some reason. See what happens. You've seen over the task over here, it's got changed. But did you notice over on this side, the left hand side, it has not changed, because nothing yesterday and on the not yesterday, last session, that there are two types of tasks. One is manually scheduled and one is automatically scheduled. So for example, if I change this one to auto schedule, so what happens is, if I change here, it will get reflected on the top also. So to change this one, either I can change one by one, or I can change all together by coming here, and I will say auto schedule. This is what happens in our 20 session. We'll be doing these kind of shortcuts also, so that you can save on time or in entering, creating the project, as well as on tracking the projects and analyzing your projects. I'll say auto schedule. So it has taken. Now, for example, if I change any activity, see over here, it has auto got scheduled. Where my cursor is moving, it's showing that it is got automatically scheduled. This is the beauty of it. And similarly, on the task, you see, we covered the manually and auto schedule task. More important is these two. You see something over here which says split task, and it says joint task. Now what happens is, during the project, because it's an ongoing thing, like if you find the two activities which were already joined together to do just, and for some reason you have to segregate it because of the let's say a shortage of manpower or shortage of resources, what you can do, you can de-link those activities also. For example, I'll come to the execution part. Now here we have said enter, like wherever you see my cursor moving, it says booth and display centers. Now then the second one is show promotional materials. Now if these two activities I want to de-link it, so what will happen? I'll do highlight those two activities over here. I'll say task, and I will say unlink it. So what happens is, you've seen it where it was joined together, now they are not anymore. Any guess where what exactly we have to do all these kind of activities? Since you must have been working on the project, these we have to do it this when to fast track because what happens is sometimes we are running shorter behind the schedule. At that time, we have to do these kinds of activities. We call it like normally I said in the last session was fast tracking or crashing. Fast tracking, what happens is we do a parallel activities. We reschedule our resources. The term resources, the more useful resources we put into the tasks which are more important than rather than on the critical tasks which we have explained. Critical task is the one if get delays, the end date is going to get impacted. Similarly, what we'll be doing it, people those who are working on the less important tasks. But anyway, they are important, but they can be delayed for certain reason. In those tasks, we can delink and the resources we can change it and make it work together. For example, now these two we have delinked it, but for some reason, if I want to link it back, and I will say link, and you see it has changed over here. I'll do it once again. I'll link it, and if I say link it, perfect. So what happens is this way, Microsoft Project allows us to reshuffle the project, reshuffle the resources as and when doing it, and just the friction of a second. We don't have to spend much time on it. That's the reason it saved a lot of work for us. Similarly, I think what happens when we're doing this thing, last time I've shown was a Gantt chart and network charts. Okay, now what happens is I will go to a project, set up the global parameters. When I select the project over here, I'll say project information. The moment I say project information, now for example, instead of project start date, the project end date is more important for us. So what's happened now, whatever we have to do, we have to ensure that the activities at last date will be the same. Only thing is we have to other activities we have to reschedule it or reshuffle it. And secondly, I wanted to show today was I want a resources allocation. Now Gantt chart, I last time showed a resource. Now I'll come to a resource sheet. How I come to a resource sheet? By clicking over here. Okay, why it's not showing it? The reason is resources are still not entered. Okay, any idea how we'll be entering the resources over here? Let's say if you identify event goals, who will be doing the identify the event goals? What should be his title in the organization?
The manager.
Manager. Very good. So I'll set it here. Manager, because I want the session to be more interactive. The reason is because the more you participate, the more you're going to take it away from this session. Now, who will be doing the project budgeting?
The finance manager or the
Somebody from the finance. So
yes.
Initially, let's say accountant, because the financial manager, they all comes into picture later on at the time of planning or approving it. Then identify marketing plan, marketing manager, right?
Correct.
Okay, now I'm using a title CV here, but you can use a name also. For example, in the second one, like in planning goals, we'll have Mr. Ramesh. Any other name for venue requirement? Who does it in your organization?
Neeraj.
Neeraj. Okay. Neeraj, you said. N-I-R-A. Neeraj. And plan the entire event, let's say, any name? Suresh, let's say. So you can have any kind of this thing. And after that, once you go to the task sheet over here, sorry, resource sheet, see how easy and interactive it is. Like the moment I come resource sheet here, it will show me the resources parameter here, right? But again, it's showing me in a dollar. The reason, because there's a parameter in the optional one where you have to go. Why I just left it, just wanted to ensure how we can change it, and it's very easy. From see, from the file, you come down to options. If you do it once or twice, you get the hang of it. It's quite easy. In the display part, you see the symbol part, where you see, say, over here a dollar one, and the decimals, because there are currencies in the world where they require 3 decimals. Any guess which countries have a 3 decimals? Bahrain got a 3 decimals, Kuwait the 3 decimals. But right now we are India, we'll say INR. So I'll say, if I say I, so all related with I will come here, and the moment I say INR, it comes to INR. So the moment I say INR, the symbol has changed to a rupee symbol. And the moment if I say OK here, you see the things have changed in the friction of a second. This is the beauty of it. Its entire Microsoft project is so interactive, it saves time on it. Now, for example, rate and also will come later on. But now if I go to a normal task sheet, see from the left side, it shows a different sheets. You can toggle between and you get your requirement, like for the team planner, resource usage. Now, for example, resource usage, what happens is if tools overworked or under allocated, it will all show here. But for the time being, we'll come gradually to this one. We'll come to the normal Gantt chart. So we can enter all these ones. Now we have to fill the entire sheet. So what happens is, to safeguard our time, what I'll do, I close this project and call another project where I've entered already a resources in it. So I'll say close. I will not save it. I will say open. I'll say setting up with resources. I'll open it. See, now in this one, it's the same WBS, but what I have done is I've entered the dates, started end date, predecessors, and I've already entered the resources over here. You can see this, and in some places I have entered multiple resources. For example, plan the entire event. It will be not a duty of one person. It will be it will be part of a duty of marketing manager and operations manager. So what happens is, once you enter all the resources, it comes down to the DDLB drop down list box, and you can select, you can change it. It's so user friendly. Okay, for example, the project manager, we don't want the project manager to do this thing. We want to give it to, let's say, a supervisor. I'll click supervisor and unclick project manager, and automatically it will go to supervisor. And when we are going to calculate the cost, it will be taking the cost of a supervisor's salary, not the project manager's salary. Imagine if it was a manual one, it will take a lot of changes to be done. But in a Microsoft project, if anything resources get changed or reshuffled, it will have a cascading effect on the entire project. And during the tracking, what happens is, if half of the project is gone, and after that it gets changed, what you will be having it, you will be sealing the project. For example, just please watch very carefully over here. Now I say identify goals. Okay. Now if I say double click on it, it gives me a pop-up screen which says task information, right? It says identify goals, duration is 2 days. And this is, see what happens is, here you see something known as estimated also. See, now what is the difference between estimated and duration? Estimated, what happens is, when it's not the actual duration, but it's an estimated one. So once we see the project, it will say that this is the estimated figure. So similarly, you can say is an estimated or the normal one. Now, for example, I'll come here as a present complete. Now it says 0% complete, but I want to, let's say, give it as a 100%. Either I can scroll down or I can simply write it up here. And the moment I press OK here, it will give me a tick mark. Means the project is complete. So it means this is sealed. Similarly, now for the second one, if I want to Let's say complete the project. There on the task bar also I got an option. 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. If I press 100 over here, it will do the same thing. Now again, if I go press double click on this one, it will pop up the task information and will say 100 and showing 3 days. That was second duty. And you see something here, a priority. Anybody remembers that when I said priority, what is actually this priority does? Any clue on it?
Priority means probably the completion date of the task.
No, actually, see, priority is, see what happens. This Microsoft project allows you can have at least in one project for one organization at least 1,000 projects. Now, priority what happens is when you're having a multiple projects within the organization, definitely certain projects are high priority, certain projects are a low priority. So let's say if I make this one as a 1,000, it means 1,000. What's going to happen this one, that this project is a high priority. If any resource is allocated, he will be utilized in this particular project first, and then his activities will be utilized in some other project. But normally what we give it, we now keep it as a medium priority. Okay, so similarly kind of this is what happens in our normal session when we come. At that time I'll be not working on a one project, I'll be working on multiple projects, and they'll be showing it in interaction with the resources, because one resource will be not working on one project, he'll be working on a multiple projects. So let's say for example, um, let's say project manager. Now project manager is sometimes is for one project, but most of the time what I've seen for the cost justification, they work on a multiple projects. So let's say 25% on one, 50% allocation on another project, and remaining 50, 25% maybe subdivided into a couple of projects. So similarly, the resources are allocated on a different projects, because definitely you're working on a couple of projects within the organization. So this is the beauty of this particular parameters. So that way I'm saying in these features, like over there it was a project information and task information. Once you come to know all these ones, you can make your project a quite intelligent and a tracking one, because setting up these parameters only helps you out when you're deciding the other things. Say for example, now what we were just seeing the first option only general, then we have predecessors also. We can specify, we can have finish to start, then start to finish, finish to finish, that how these activities are there. We'll be covering it very soon in the, not today, maybe in the coming session. Then the resources for certain tasks, sometimes one resources, sometimes more than one resources. Then here what happens is deadlines. Now, and second thing, over right now, do you see my cursor moving here?
Yes.
It's a WBS code. What happens is this WBS codes can be linked into a project server. If you're going to an APM kind of enterprise project management, these Microsoft project will be linking with those ones. So these WBS codes, just like we have a chart of accounts, so it will be pulled up these codes into this one. We'll be specifying in the Microsoft project, APM project, and these codes, whatever we here, it will be interrelated. Then there's a method over here which is known as the earn value method. Now EVM, and actually it is called an EVM, earn value method. Now what exactly earn value management is or method is, like say for example, we started a project and it was costing a 10 lakh, but and we have started for last 2 months and we spent around 2 lakhs. But every manager or every organization wants to know every day, where do they stand today? If they spend it 2 lakhs, have they achieved the work out of equivalent to the 2 lakh? If they have achieved the work of 2 lakhs, means their work, their progress is as per the schedule. If they are not, it means they are definitely lagging behind. So in that case, they have to push up something. They have to reframe activities or whatever it is they should be doing this one. And there are two types of it. One is percentage complete from the total project, and the physical percentage complete. So all terms. So this is again the detailed one. I'll be showing it, because these features really guides you how you can do it. It's very easy. It's nothing rocket science. But only thing is one has to know it, and then you can master it in a very short period. Okay, I'll leave it as a percentage complete. Then we have notes. Now notes, what happens is for any example, a particular project, a project manager has entered it. To do these particular activities, they should check with them. For example, electrician duty. If any electrician is going to work on, he cannot just simply goes and switch off the electricity. No, he has to check. If before going in, he has to ensure if for that particular this thing, are there any people working on that? So there'll be a message for him. We are working on it, ensure with the supervisor or ensure with the floor manager or ensure with the whosoever in charge of that particular area before ensure that before you start that particular work. Because if electrician start his work without knowing it, because he has to be given some instruction, because this Microsoft project will be seen by everybody and they'll be working on it, and once they finish the task they'll come to here and will enter it whatever percentage of work they've entered it completed, whether 25%, whether it's 30% or 40% or 50%. Similarly, they will come and update the task, and accordingly it will be taken care. So for them it has should be taken care. Secondly, for example, any a legal document. Now you can put in this thing that if suppose they are going to apply for a challan, this challan is with Mr. So and so. He should contact that particular person for this particular challan. Or for example, for doing this activity, there's a only budget of 1,000 rupees. They should manage with this thing. So these kinds of notes are set up for here, and the person who's takes care of this task, he will definitely check what's a note for him and he follows. He cannot say ignorance is not a bliss over here, that I was not aware of it. Yeah, if it's not put out over here, then definitely he was not aware of it. But this Microsoft project allows all these activities. Then there's certain custom fields. In the normal Microsoft project, we don't, but sometimes what happens is when we're doing with the PPM, or portfolio management or APM, that time we have our custom fields which are integrated with this one. So we can, this particular Microsoft project speaks with that particular this thing. So we can specify over here. So see, you have seen it, that how easy it is and how useful it is when we specify all these tasks over here. Okay, now what I'll do, now I'll take you to the another one where we'll be entering all this one and they will be trying to achieve whatever we planned it for today's activity. Okay, so I think defining the projects we have covered up most of this with schedule date, calendar, priorities, and project options. I'll move further. Work breakdown section also after we started it, and entering tasks which is delivered by summary tasks and all, we covered it. Now coming to type of resources which we didn't do in the last session, but we'll be doing it here, and in the coming 12 sessions we'll be covering a lot more than this. Once you complete this one, you can say that you have utilized this lockdown period into a very useful manner. Now here we come to resources. There are three types of resources. One is work. Work is mean human resources or equipment based on an hourly or daily rate. For example, like if you're hiring somebody who works in a forklift or he works in a drilling machine, because before setting up the exhibition center, somebody has to dig it or the thing. So his resources will be charged along with his machine. For example, if an electrician is coming with some equipment, so he'll be charging for his certain equipments also. The second comes is a material resources with notion of price per unit or per quantity. This is something where I was saying about a variable cost. We have two types of costs are there in the finance. One is fixed cost, one is variable cost. So the difference is work is for the human one, material means where it is used as a variable cost. More the material, the more the cost. Then last comes the cost. This resource have final cost not depending on duration or quantity. It means what? The fixed cost. For example, if you're if you're doing any project plan, but you are definitely utilizing your office space, your office amenities. But for that, what will happen? You can save certain percentage, a fixed. Whether there are 4 people are working or 5 people are working, doesn't matter. But as a fixed cost, allocated to the Microsoft project. So this is the part where when we enter all these types of costing, that Microsoft project gives us the exact figures where we stand as far our project is. Second, I think duration estimates and work estimates we did last time, but today we'll cover on this thing. But dependencies, yes, I want to take it more in detail. Why? No. I'll go back to this one. Entering task dependencies. Each task, because then nobody in the organization works alone. Everybody here works as a team, and everyone's work is depending or interrelated with the other people. So there are four types of dependencies. I think last time I just showed the brief of it, but today I'll cover it more in details. The first is over here, which you see, finish to start, where it is means the moment, let's say the carpet work is done, then the other furniture work can start. So this is a type of activity known as finish to start. 70 to 80% of activities are finish to start only. Second comes start to start, where two activities have to start together. And third one is finish to finish. Finish to finish is the one, like for example, no matter what happens, with the day before exhibition inauguration, all our activities, whether it's a booth or registration or whatever it is, whether our material, whatever, it has to be finished before this. That place will be putting a finish to finish kind of a activity. The last comes is start to finish. Start to, you must be wondering, when we have finished to finish on the top, then why do we need start to finish? But there's small change in it. Here, this activity should be getting finished before. Now, any guess where we need this kind of activity? We need it where we need to obtain a permission. Like, for example, permission to enter the exhibition area, or permission to take goods from one place to another place. So that is the place where we take activity of
Excuse me, Mr. Mani.
start finish. Hello.
Mr. Mani, we can't see the PPT. Can you please run it out?
You are not able to see the PPT. 1 minute.
No.
You should tell me. Now are you able to see it?
No.
Yes.
It's on now. It's on now.
I see. Now are you able to see which says enter task dependencies?
Yes.
You should tell me, because this was a very important one. So I'll go through again, because these are the important features of it. With okay, the first one is finish to start. Finish to start is some activities. Once we finish this one, the second activity start. Like for example, once we finish the design, the actual development will take place. Second comes start to start, because there are a couple of activities where we can start together at the same time. We should start, and this is the guidance for the people, those who actually implementing the project, that they can do this activity parallelly to achieve our goal. Then comes finish to finish. Finish to finish is this particular one. The reason why I'm saying it, because for example, like we say that we have to finish all our tasks on this particular date. So it means all our activities should finish before. Like for example, the exhibition first start, inauguration has to take place on Monday. So all our activities should finish and Sunday by 12, and so that kind of activity will be specified as a finish to finish. Believe me, this Microsoft project is quite a useful tool, and you know the beauty of it is quite cheap. The reason is it's not very expensive, and for our normal, I will advise, I will guide you also, where you can download your 30 days trial version, which is purely legal, and maybe to safeguard time, the license fee is also quite let's say less one. If we take it from ISA's name, I think we'll get quite a good discount on it. We'll come to this one later on. So what happens is we can use it as a finish to finish under this one. The last comes start to finish. Now start to finish, where do we need it? Because one can say the start to finish and the finish to finish are more than the same, but no. Here what happens is the previous activity gets finished, the second start. But here, this activity will only start when the previous activity has to get finished. The reason why The reason, suppose if he has to, somebody has to enter the exhibition, so his pass should be ready. So obtaining the pass also is a activity. They should obtain it. Similarly, for crossing the board, one should have a challan or what they call it bilty in their hand. Once they have the bilty, they can go ahead with it. So this is known as start to finish. Then comes constraints and all. Okay. Before coming to this, I'll go back to the project and we'll start with this project because a lot of things to be done. I don't know. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? Because I just
Yes.
toggled between the screen.
Yes.
It's a
Yes,
Microsoft project. More or less, you can say that it's an Excel sheet. Are you able to see this one?
yes.
Yeah.
No.
So, who is not able to see this? Because for some, once we change this due to the network, it might be slow, but it will definitely come. Now it is coming where my cursor is scrolling.
No.
No.
No, then I'll do new share. No problem. I'll do new share. Are you able to see now?
Yes.
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 Okay. I think due to network, I know nowadays the network is not so fast. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But still, it's not that slow also. So see what happens is here. What happened? We covered is all this one. Okay, we were talking about why I went over there was because we had specified resources. So just all I wanted to give an indication was resources doesn't mean the only human resources. It can mean anything. For example, one of the activities I'll change it to a testing of all equipment before the events. Now here I will add one more activity, or rather what I'll do, I will uncheck these resources and I will say normally we have a built-in, no, let's say testing machine. Okay. Now testing machine okay. Now testing machine is a material. Now what happens is over here I'll say testing machine, but in my usage resource sheet, which I'll come over here. No, resource sheet I'll come here. Which you see on the left side, all the small icons. Yeah, it's a resource sheet. Now over here, you see a testing machine in the bottom.
Yes.
Here, here I will say instead of work, I will say material. Fine. So see how easy it is. Similarly, if I had, let's say, a cost, let's say office space, because the team will be using office work. So over here, instead of work, I will say cost. You got in my point? Sorry, cost. Cost. So now what happens is, now we have got three types of sheet. For operations team, we have work. The calculation will be different. Testing, spelling is not correct. And it will automatically change there also. Then the office space. Now testing machine will be a material and the costing will go as a variable cost. The more the machine we use, the cost will go higher, and the less we use, it will be less. But for office space, it will be same. So you see, in the Microsoft project, we can specify these three different kinds of resources. It's not only human resources. We can have, apart from human resources, we can have activities which we can be taken as a variable cost, and activities which can be as a fixed cost. So that's these features makes Microsoft project more user-friendly and more valuable. Okay. Similarly, so now we'll come back to a Gantt chart, which is the normal one. So now, remember that over here I said testing machine. So it changed it into a testing machine, and and the spelling which was not correct, but it got corrected over here. I mean, we corrected over there, it got automatically corrected over here. So you can see the benefit of it. The moment we change one, it get affected over there. Anita, can we extend the time?
Sorry, sir.
5:30 over the time. Huh?
Time? Yeah, it's okay, sir. Yes, sure, sir. Please.
Yeah. See, what happens is I'll logically I finish one particular section, but then I request the team because since it's a useful time, I mean useful tool, and we have a time during this lockdowns. Maybe we can go for the full session because 1 hour or rather 2 hours are not justified to this particular tool because there's a lot more to this, and we have hardly covered not even 15%. And apart from this, how many of you have worked on Excel? Hello?
Yes.
Everybody.
And how many can set up a macros and formulas and pivot table and can reports make graphical reports on it?
I'm able to.
You can make a dashboard also. Hello. Because see what happens is Microsoft project and advanced Excel, they are both related because most of the time what happens is you make your work to do list, you define it, and once you finalize your list, then you upload into Microsoft project. So what happens is this way it specifies it, and it saves your time also. So our session was to cover even advanced Excel also, where we can do macros, we can set up macros, we can have graphics, we can have pivot tables, we can have dashboards, we can do reporting, and see what happens. Then those reporting we can connect with the Microsoft project also, or we can connect with the other tools which are also coming like a Tableau or Microsoft Project BI, BI reports. But anyway, Microsoft BI reports will be different altogether. But anyway, so what we will do, like I'll try to finish at least this session today, and we'll see how things go after this. I'll go to my. Okay. Are you able to see my PowerPoint presentation? I've changed it just recently.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's how I was changing for all the time. But anyway, maybe due to network. Okay. Similarly, what happens? We just finish at dependencies. Then what we have is the constraints, which we are useful. Then we have critical path. We wanted to cover it up, but I don't know to this session. Then fast tracking and crashing, and reporting a dashboard. Because so far what I've covered is just the introduction of the dashboards and reporting, but in quite a depth as a user only. May you don't have to do a programming on this one. Just by specifying your parameters, you can get benefit of all this report. I think again I'll go back to the Microsoft project and show what all things which is available over there, which we can start using on it. Are you able to see my Microsoft project, which is like Excel?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now what I'll do, I'll come to the option as reports. And I will show you one of the dashboards. What happens is, are you able to see the reports over here? Because we have not done the tracking of the project, so all blank. But all these reports are inbuilt. And once we have put up all this, okay, it's showing dollars because again, on this one I have to change to the options. Display. Similarly, now you see it's changed. I'll save it also with this one. So next time it will not give any problem. Okay. So this is what I was trying to say. These reports which are already inbuilt, so which we just by selecting it, it will show, like for example now in the resources, if I say over allocated resources, it will show me on this one anyone over allocated. But so far we have not done all these things. So because still we need more time to set up all those parameters and resources, because what we have set up is just the 50% of the project. At least I need another 2 more hours to finish or rather finalizing the entire project. So I think we'll keep it for till now as for today, and we'll see what best we can do in the next session whenever we are going to have it. So Anita, it's all yours now.
Thank you, sir. Hope you can all hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
So, we are planning to do one more training session on Saturday, which is on sales management, and the topic is deciding sales and effective sales practices. Platform will be the same, and timing is also same. I will share all the details soon with all of you. So please join and try to learn more skills about your sales management.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for today's session also for attending. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.